Hello, this is XJ Talks in Life coming back at you with another video. This is on, I got this off the Pink Book Lessons. But it's been all over YouTube and everything. It's been trending. This black lady, young black lady, I don't know, I'm sure how old she is. She's a young lady, is pregnant, and she allegedly, well, it ain't no allegedly, she did it. She stabbed her boyfriend, the one to the right, in the leg and hit a femoral artery, and he bled out and he died. And guess what the reason was? Because she couldn't get the microwave in time. She couldn't get the microwave in time. She was upset because he wouldn't let her heat her food first. She was pregnant, and, you know, women are hormonal, but that's no excuse. That is no excuse. I had 2 kids and was pregnant twice. And I didn't stab anybody. And the second time, I worked all the way up to my 9th month, and I was dealing with some, I ain't gonna say, itches at my job. And not one time did I think of stabbing, not one of them. So I'm not going to use pregnancy as an excuse, pregnancy hormones as an excuse. My baby daddy, when I was pregnant, my oldest son, was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. But did not once think about picking up a knife and stabbing him. I don't have that mindset. That's no excuse. Pregnancy hormones is no excuse to be violent. And they said that she stabbed the man before in the neck. She stabbed him in the neck before. He decided to not press charges. He went back to her. I wanted to cover this because I want to talk about abuse against men. Men do go through domestic violence. They do. I wrote in the comment section, he was probably being abused. Men don't want to hit women. He was probably a gentleman, didn't want to hit her, loved her, but at the same time, he probably loved her. And she was probably had a bad temper. You know, he was enduring bad temper and all that kind of stuff. It happens more often than not. Men do, just like the Christian guy. And you see in the elevator where the white woman was beating him up. And it turns out she was the aggressor. And she stabbed him in the heart. And then in that audio, I did the video with the audio showing that she called him all kind of N-words and stuff. Going off on him. Women, there are psychotic women out there. Black and white. There are crazy women out there. I told my oldest son, I said, if you're enduring some type of abuse, both of my sons, don't be ashamed to report it. Don't be ashamed to report it. And of course he was like, "Oh, Mom, you tripping and all that." I'm just saying, I ain't gonna put up with that, you know. But that's how men, that's how they think, you know. They are gentlemen. They don't want to hit the woman, and they don't, you know. And he probably loved her at the same time. Her mother said that she didn't know, was not aware that he could die from being stabbed in the leg. Well, there's major arteries running through our legs and our arms. We have a femur bone in our leg. There's a major artery. The femoral artery runs along that femur bone. It's a major artery. If it gets hit, you're gone. Okay, you can bleed out really fast. Yeah, okay, it's a major artery. Our public school system is really failing us because they should be teaching that in the public school system. They really should. Because it don't make no sense for people to not know that. But men have to endure violence. Men have to endure abuse. It happens more often than not. They're too ashamed to report it because they don't want to, you know, they figure they feel like less than a man if they report it. And he probably didn't want to press charges the first time because she stabbed him in the neck the first time. And he probably didn't want to press charges. Because, he probably felt like a punk. You know how I don't want to feel like, yeah, I ain't no punk and all that kind of stuff. And men don't report it. They don't report it. Because they feel like, people shame men for, we got to normalize men reporting abuse. We got to normalize that. Because men have to endure abuse too. Men go through it too. Now, sometimes in a relationship where there's two men together, they may endure it by the hands of a same-sex relationship. They might have to endure abuse. But a lot of times when a man is with a woman, he has to endure that abuse. And they're too ashamed to report it. But it happens more often than not. Sons, mothers, tell your sons, talk to your sons, tell them, you got to look for red flags. When a woman has bipolar issues or mental health issues, pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to the red flags. And don't be afraid to report it. It just happened like the conversation with my oldest son, and he was like blowing me off. Like, yeah, right, Mom. Yeah, I ain't gonna put up with that, That's why I'm still single now. And this, that. I'm just saying, son. I'm just telling you. And so mothers, talk to your sons, because there's some psychotic women out here. And we're getting towards the really end, and Satan's time is short, and he is using so many people. And people are allowing themselves to be used because they don't have God in their heart. When you don't have God in your heart, and Satan could come right on in there. And people just let Satan into their heart, and it's some evil times. And just, how you gonna kill somebody over a microwave? I mean, it's like the OK Corral. We don't kill people over little simple stuff. Now she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison. That poor baby is not going to have any parents. He looks like he's a nice guy. I pay attention to the eyes. And I'm looking in his eyes. He looks like he was a gentle. He doesn't look like, he don't look hard or nothing like that. I mean, he looks like, he really comes across, he really looks like a gentle guy. I could be wrong, but he appears to be a nice guy. The black man is not always the bad guy in the situation. And a lot of times these nice men like this get with black women like this. It happens more often than not. They get with these nice black men, get with these types of black women. Now, a lot of those same black men are here on YouTube spewing hatred towards all black women because they was nice to the wrong one. They was nice to the wrong sister. It's like good people just can't seem to find each other. The good women and the good men just can't seem to find each other. Sometimes good women hook up with bad men, and then the good men hook up with the bad women. It's like, it just seems like good people just can't find each other. It's like your good person should be hooking up with another good person. In a perfect world, yeah, maybe that would happen. In some small percentage of cases, it does happen. But most of the time, good people wind up with bad people. And on both sides, male and female, good males wind up with bad, crazy, psychotic females like this. Good women wind up with crazy, psychotic men, bad men. And what happens with the men and women, they have a couple of those bad relationships. They were nice to the wrong people. And what do? When they live to talk about it, they come on YouTube and they're spewing all this hatred towards all black women. And it wasn't all black women. You hooked up with the wrong one. You hooked up with the wrong one. Some of these men, they enjoy being with this type of women. I don't know if they get some excitement out of it or what. Something's wrong with you if you like to be with them type of people. But that girl, she doesn't, I don't know. She don't look like she don't look good. She looks like she's not a kind person. You know? I mean, said she stabbed him in the neck before and he didn't press charges. So that speaks volumes about his character. That he didn't want to see her go to jail. He was probably trying to stick by her and do the right thing by her and the baby. Trying to show her love. I'm not saying he's totally innocent, but yeah, it's not always the brother that's causing the problem. Sometimes it is the women, but their problem is they're hooking up with the wrong sisters. He's hooking up with the wrong sisters. That's the problem. And so if you know mothers that got sons or black male loved ones in your family, or male of all races, not just black, but males of all races, because you got crazy people in all races. Mothers, talk to your sons and tell them, hey, look for the red flags. When a woman is got some mental health issues, you got to look for the red bipolar. Some of these people walking around with bipolar issues. Look for the red flags. And then run from the woman. Don't walk away from her. Run away from her. And if the man is involved in a domestic abuse type situation, most men don't want to talk about it. A lot of times it goes undetected because men don't like to, that's not something that they want to sit down and talk to their homies about, you know. It's a man thing. And they certainly don't want to discuss it with their mother. It's a man thing. So, but if you got a son and you suspect that he's in a situation like that, then talk to him, you know, try to encourage him to, you know, leave whatever, get help, whatever. But they're going to avoid it. They're going to avoid the conversation as much as possible, but try to open up some type of lines of communication. You know, because men, it really goes under the radar because they really don't like to report. They don't like to talk about it because of their male ego. It's because of their male ego. And I can understand that. But it's a lot of cases where men are getting abused. It really, really happens a lot more than what we realize. They're being a gentleman and they don't want to hit the woman. It's like that Christian guy. If you've seen the footage of the in the elevator, that woman was beating the mess out of him, and he was trying to do everything he can to push her away. He was trying to restrain her. And so, yeah, so that's what happens in a lot of these relationships. Some of these women are psychotic of all races. So let me know if you heard this story. It's really sad. My prayers and condolences go out to this young man's family. His name is Calvin, I believe. Prayers and condolences go out to Calvin's family. And, yeah, now she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison. Violence is never the answer. Violence ain't never the answer. Sad. So let me know what your thoughts are, and please like, subscribe, and share. Until the next video, be blessed.